Okay, and welcome to lesson 2 of our C++ lesson. So here we are moving on to our next topic. So I hope if you watch the previous video, you've been able to download and install code block. So right here we are just going straight into creating our first project in code block. So I'm going to open code blocks right from here. Here I have it on my taskbar, so I'm just going to click on it once and it's going to open. So my code blocks software will open for me, and I hope you have yours installed. If you don't, watch the previous video and get it installed and then come back and watch this video. I hope it's I told you it's a requirement for this video, for this course, and you must do that, or you must have done that. So I'm just going straight to opening our code blocks and we do that. So before we let me also talk about this. You should also have a separate project folder to this course where you're going to store your progress. So if it is day 1, you're going to talk about right into it day 1, what we did in day 1. You have a day 1 project, day 2 project folder, day 3 project folder, and all that. And in all, you're going to copy all of them into one project folder like C++ course. All right, and then you have separate folders under it: day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, until you complete the project, the course, so that you'll be able to track your progress from there. That sounds good, right? So this is the interface of code blocks, and this is what we're going to do. We are going to start here. I'm using the version 20.03. that is the latest version. I hope, as at the time I was recording this lesson, was the latest version. So chances are that yours may be higher, so no problem with it. So we're going to have our course project. Now on this main project, you can see we have create new project link here. We have open an existing project. Here we are starting from the scratch. We don't have any project already done, so we cannot open any existing project. What we would do is to create a new project. So we will go here to create our new project. Similarly, instead of using, you can also come to this side on the file tab here and also go to new and come to project. All right, you can also do that from this side, but this is quite visible, so I'm going to use this side of the interface. So I'll say create new project, and here we're going to create a console application. All right, application that runs on the command line. So the other project you can create, they have specified all of them here. All right, so we are going to select console application because that's what we are going to do. So I will select console application right here, and then I'm going to click on, and then I'm going to click on go. So I'll go click on this, and no, here you just ask me welcome to this. You can skip the page for next time or blah blah blah, but here I'll just leave it and click on next. And you see this editor IDE can be used for C and then C++. Now C++ is an upgraded version of C. So C++, C++ in addition, right? An upgraded version. So you can actually use it to create a C program and then a C++ program. So here we are dealing with C++. So we will select C++ right here. Click on next. And here to give the title of our project, okay? So I'm going to teach you how you can create your project folder, and then we can come back to this. So on this folder to create project in, we're going to click on this here, and anywhere, here I have it in my learning, I have it C++. I'm going to create a new thing here. So I'm going to create this folder. I have a new folder here, call it C++ course. Okay, and then I'll open into that, and then I also create another folder right here and call it day 1. Okay, so I'm going to select that folder. That is where I'm going to create my project in it. So I've selected C++ course day 1 right here. And what's the title of my project? So the title of my project is going to be what? So the title of my project is going to be, let's say, I'll call it day 1. Okay, so it's going to be day 1 now. Okay, or let me call it app. Okay, I'll call it app, and that is all. And then I'll click on next, click on what? Finish. You just leave everything as it is and click on what? Finish. Now our project will be created. So we have our project created successfully for us. So we go to the project tab here, and you can see that our project is called app right here. And inside that folder we have the sources folder, which contains our main app. So double click on it, and then we will have our first project created right here. So I would like to go into my project folder and look at what I have there. So C++ course right here, day 1, and I have my app folder, and I have the project here. I have the main file, C++ file that I have right here. So that is the arrangement of the project that I have created. So minimizing it, and this is my first project folder, my first C++ project. Now I'm going to delete everything inside of this, and we're going to start from scratch. Now every software has, okay, so software are full of functions. Okay, they're full of functionalities. They perform a lot of functions. So on this code blocks, one of the functions is to be able to write what? A C++ applications. Now think about your mobile phone. Your mobile phone has a lot of functions. It has apps like WhatsApp that can send messages. It has the phone app that can do what? Make calls. Have the messaging app that can do or send messages. So the application is full of functions. So on this C++, it is structured in a way that you have the main function, which is going to perform most of the task. So here we specify that function with the name what? Main. All right, so this is going to be our main function. And in programming, functions come with a parenthesis after it. So after that, we're going to add our parenthesis right here. Now we call it bracket in other things, but we call it parenthesis in programming. The reason being that in the future we'll talk about parameters, and parameters are what we are going to put inside the parenthesis. All right, so we call this one parenthesis. And after that, for clean code and other things, you leave a space, and then we'll add our curly bracket. And this curly bracket, in between the curly bracket, is where we are going to write our main code. So this is where the code that we are going to write will actually go. All right, a lot of the codes will be here, will be in the middle, in between the curly bracket. Now some people like to put the curly bracket on the next line. It is not evil, it is not bad, it is not wrong. You can actually do that. Okay, you can actually put the curly bracket below the function, the main function, and it will work. But I prefer to put them on the same line here because I'm used to it. All right, I have written CSS, and this is how I use Python, any other language that I use, JavaScript. That is how I write it. So I'm kind of used to it. So it's nothing. But putting it on the next line or on the same line has nothing to do with the functionalities. It is just practice. Okay, it's just a practice. So here I'm going to write my code here, and whatever I want to write here will be executed. Now this will not actually work because we need to actually specify what type of function we are creating. Okay, we need to specify the type of function we are creating. So the type of this function is that it is an integer, because it's going to return an integer value that is 0, and returning a 0 integer means that our function, our code runs successfully. So we are going to say int for integer. All right, and here we say return 0, and don't forget your semicolon. So returning 0 actually means that our code ran successfully without errors. Okay, so we are going to do that. Now what are we going to do? We have created our function, but so what is going to be the function of our function? What is our function going to do? Here we're going to try to print output to the stream. All right, we're going to print something. We want to output a command onto the console so that we can actually read or see it. So to output a command, we use what? So to do that, we're going to use one of the standard libraries to get that. And so we are going to use one of the standard libraries. So we're going to say std for standard libraries, and we are actually using something or a module which is formed in the standard library. So to access that, we use 2 colons, you see, and when we use 2 colons, it's going to suggest the concept or the model we want to use. And here the model we want to use is what? cout, and cout is what we output it to the stream. So we use a cout, we have a double angle bracket, and then we will type our code. So hello world, this is what we want to output to the stream. We terminate with our semicolon. Now you can see that we are using a command or a model from the standard library. So before we can use anything from there, we need to actually import it into our code. So we need to tell our C++ project that this is where we want to get our model from. So we need to include it in our project. So do hashtag include, and the where we are getting the standard from is what? IO stream, where IO simply means input output. So you're saying that input output stream, and this is where we are getting our standard.cout from. Okay, cout simply means console out. All right, so we are outputting our code to the console. All right, so using the include statement to include an IO stream, that is input output stream, in order to get access to the cout. All right, so now let's run our code and see what we get. So we have 3 buttons right here on top that I want us to take notice of. We have the build here. Now C++ will have to compile your code and then to run it. So to build, the build button here will build your project. Okay, and then we also have run here. When you have built it, you can run your project, and we have this button here that can build and run your code at the same time, and that's what we are going to use most of the times. So we are going to use the build and run command here. We click on it, it will build our project and then give us an output. So whilst our code, okay, so our code is now built, and this is the output. We have hello world. So this is the console, that's the command prompt. It will just output the code on the command prompt for us. So we have hello world here, and that is what we have, meaning that our code ran successfully. So it returned 0. So process returned 0, meaning that our execution was successful. All right, you can exit this and move on. So this is the main concept, the basics of printing out our output onto the console. We can do more things right here. So you can print your name to maybe my name. All right, you can print your name to the console as well. Okay, so let's see what I will have right there. I'll build it, and you can see my name output to the console right here. So our program runs successfully. We can actually do calculations also right here. So we can have 5 plus 5 right here, and it will do that. So the same procedure, we run it, and it will say 5 plus 5 is 10. So we have 5 plus 10 right here. We can do subtraction. You can see subtraction right here. 5 minus 2, we do it, and it gives us 3. All right, so we have 3 there. we can actually do all the calculations, all the mathematical computations. Multiplication is the asterisk. We use the asterisk for the multiplication, and with division we use the forward slash. So we can say 5 asterisk 2 gives us what? That is 5 times 2 gives us 10. And we can use the division, and it will give us, this one is not going to give us 2.5 because this is an integer. In an integer, it doesn't contain decimal. So when we want to deal with decimal, we have a data type which is called double. We'll get there sooner, but here it's going to give us 2 because it's an integer. It's going to divide it, and that is it. We are not going to have 2.5 as usual. If you want to have 2.5, it means you have to use what? Double. And there's one other thing called the modulo, which is the percentage sign. The modulo is actually going to calculate the remainder, give us the remainder of the expression. So 5 modulo 2 is going to be 1 because 2 goes into 5 2 times, and then remainder 1. So absolutely we can do a lot of things with this. Now I'm going to make a simple note right here. I'm going to talk about this. So we have addition is the same as this. We have subtraction is the same as this. We will have multiplication is the asterisk. Okay, we have division because the forward slash. We have modulo, also known as the remainder operator, to be the percentage sign. Okay, so that is it. So this is what our code is basically for. Now look at the arrangement. We include an IO stream. We will declare a function which is an integer because it's going to return 0 to suggest that our code runs successfully. And we're going to get the standard library cout doubles left braces or angle bracket, and then we have our expression, and we'll terminate it with a semicolon. So on the next session we're going to talk about variables, but before then I want us to look at this expression. Okay, so we would have something like my name is Godfred. Okay, and we have std cout. Okay, cout I am 20 years old. Okay, and then we also have std I am single. Okay, now you can see that we can run all these codes at once, and all of them will be executed for us. So you can see my name is Godfred, I am 20 years old, I am single. All of them on one line. Okay, all of them on one line. Now what if we want to break the lines? All right, we want to print everything on a separate line. So we need to make this one, my name is Godfred, run on separate line, I'm 20 years on another line. So here we are also going to use another standard library which is called end line. So we're going to go here, write it from here, and then call it end line. Okay, so it's going to end this line and move on to the another line. So we'll do the same thing right here, so that it moves on to the next line. So let's run and see. Okay, we have my name is Godfred, I'm 20 years old, I am single. All right, so yeah, that is it. We have all of them running on separate lines using the standard library that is the end line. Now, provided I have this name that is Godfred repeated more than once, okay, so I'm going to say something like std cout, and I'll say Godfred is my first name, is my first name. Now I have repeated that again. I'm going to std end line. I have repeated Godfred right here. I have Godfred here, I have Godfred here. So I'm going to run and see. You notice that my name is Godfred, I'm 20 years old, I'm single. Godfred is my first name. So in the future, if I change my name, if I want to change my name from Godfred to, let me say, Alex, I may have to come here again and change it to Alex. If I have thousands of lines of code which contains my name, I have to go through all of them in order to change them. This is not ideal. That is where the concept of variables comes in. So thank you for watching this video. We move on to the next lesson where we talk about what variables.